I'd like to take about 15 minutes just to introduce you to Asia Plantation Capital, give you a little bit of background how we started and what we're offering today to the people coming through this show. We actually started as a formal entity in 2009, and Singapore's our head office. And we've evolved to the point today where we have about 2,000 staff. About 600 of those are permanent staff, and the rest are seasonal, working in our plantations in the planting season or harvesting season. We've now planted in the range of 7.5 million trees, and that covers teak, rubber, bamboo, and the species I'll talk today is a tree called the Aquilaria, which is not widely known in Europe, and that produces a commodity or an oil called oud oil, which is very valuable, and I'll come on to in a while. In terms of assets under management, we've grown very well, actually. We now have about 600 million in terms of assets owned by ourselves or under management. And in sales, last year we sold about 65 million dollars in trees. And this year we believe we'll be in the range of 100 million. The Aquilaria species produces a resinous heartwood, which is called agar wood, and that's indigenous to Southeast Asia, and we have plantations in the 5 countries there. But today, really, we're interested in Thailand and Malaysia, which our new plantations are focused on. Just to give you an idea on the kind of financials that we talk about, we sell basically trees to clients with the security of a long-term land lease. We sell them in blocks of 100 trees for $22,000. The 15-year land lease allows you to do 2 rotations because it's possible to harvest the tree after 7 years. And the typical return on investment, multiples anywhere from 2 to 5, depending where you exit between 7 and 15 years. And we're in the IRR range of 12 to 15%. Just quickly looking at our evolution in terms of sales history, we started in 2009, and we took 8 million in terms of tree sales when we started, moving to 9 million, and then we opened new offices around Asia, and we quickly expanded to 36, and then last year we took 65 million. We're new now to Europe. I'm establishing teams around Europe in France, Germany, Switzerland, here. So we're coming back to the European market now to basically start what is an education process to introduce people to this particular tree and what it can mean for you as a potential investor. So the tree itself is called Aquilaria. We focus on a species called Krasna, and that produces 3 things. Oud oil, which is it's a very pungent, earthy oil, which we ultimately sell for about $30,000 per litre. So this is essentially liquid gold. It's very, very valuable. We sell it into the cosmetic and fragrance industry primarily, but it also has applications in the pharmaceutical and medical sector. Before it's distilled, the infected wood can be ground into powder, and that's used in incense sticks. China is the main market for the incense. And then the actual wood chips, if you ever go to the Middle East or to the Gulf, you may see that they burn these wood chips which give off this heavy aroma. That's again the same wood, which is called agar wood. It's indigenous to Southeast Asia, and to produce this oud oil, the tree has to be really 7 years old is the minimum to be able to get a commercial viable quantity. For the powder, it takes 9 years. And then the applications, as I said, there are many. There's the fragrance, there's the cosmetics, beverages, the leaves are used in medicinal tea, for example. What we've managed to achieve is this particular tree in the wild, only about 5% of the trees have the heartwood which creates the oil. Through extensive R&D with universities in Asia, we've managed to replicate that by creating an organic compound which we inject into the tree, which produces the same effect but in 100% of the trees. Now, the tree is actually critically endangered in the wild, and it's protected by CITES. So what that means is that illegal foresters, because of the value of this, they will chop down an entire forest to find the 5% that carry oil, because there's no way of telling from the outside of the tree if this is inside. So we've managed to do that in 100% of the trees, and all of our plantations now they're ring fenced, they have 24-hour security. It's quite a large operation. In the dark area of the tree here, you see the infected area with the resinous heartwood. When that's, after 7 years, when we chop the tree, we literally, manually, we have people separating the white wood from the dark wood to go into the distillation process, which ultimately produces the oil. Sustainability is key, and we use, in all of our plantations, whether it's rubber, teak, bamboo, they're all sustainable. We have CITES certification to basically demonstrate that for the export of any commodity. 7.5 million trees under our belt now. It's quite a large organization. And in fact, this particular tree was extinct in Sri Lanka, and we reintroduced it into the habitat there. We also follow the Forestry Stewardship Council guidelines, which means that we do a large part for the local communities. Apart from employing 2,000 people, we do initiatives with schools and medical clinics, etc. So we try to make a positive impact in society. And deforestation in general is a huge issue. This tree has been devastated across Asia, and we're, by the sustainable plantations, we're growing more and more and more. So we're getting larger every year. Beyond the plantations, the other thing that we do is we look to fully integrate vertically different opportunities. So we start with a plantation, and then we created our own distilleries, which we have in Thailand and in Malaysia. We moved into processing factories where we're now able to produce the incense and the incense sticks. And we also worked with some Parisian perfumers, top perfumers, to create a range of fine fragrances. And we've opened our own retail stores now in Kuala Lumpur, in Singapore, and in Bangkok. So we're right the way through the process. We're expanding the business. In terms of our future strategy, it's continuing to acquire more land to sell more trees to clients, and we invest heavily into the R&D to ensure we get the optimum quality and quantity of this oil. Because if you can, as we do now, produce a grade A oil that's consistent, it's very, very attractive to the fragrance sector, and that's a market estimated at $12 billion. We're investing in new plants and machinery, and you saw the factory in Malaysia, which we just acquired 3 months ago. And we're now expanding our commercial operations in Europe. As I said, I'm heading up new teams in various countries here. Why are we different to some of the other players? We are the largest and the most successful producer globally. We have this patented technology for inoculation, continuous investment in R&D, industry-leading yields in producing this oud oil. We offer a buyback price guarantee in case there's any market, demise in the price, although it's been raising steadily for over 30 years. We have a tree replacement policy, so if the trees are damaged by wind or by any issue, we have a replacement policy, because as a company we have several 100,000 of our own trees which we're able to replenish stocks with. We have Sharia compliance for our investors in the Middle East, CITES certification. I demonstrated the full value chain in terms of what we're doing today. And we have a very strong asset base in that we own all of the land, the underlying assets, the land. We have no bank debts as a company, and typically we invest alongside clients. For every 100 trees that we sell, we plant at least 20 of our own to satisfy our own business in the fragrance sector or in the incense sector, plus to act as a buffer stock in case there's any problem with a client's plantation. We've been recognized for the work that we're doing. Last year we were awarded the Best Forestry Asset Management Company in Asia, and just yesterday, in fact, I picked up this one in London, which is the Best Forestry Investment Company awarded by the European. And we obtained the Sharia compliance as well. So our efforts are recognized, I think, globally, and we're on the right path. Let me just show you a short 3-minute video which will give you an insight into the company. We actually actively encourage our clients to visit the plantations, and we've had over 5,000 visitors and clients visit them in Thailand. It's a good reason to combine that with a holiday usually. Thank you for your attention. We are literally just around the corner there in the first stand. If you'd like any more information or would like to discuss anything, look forward to talking to you. Thank you very much.